Hi everybody, welcome to No Story Secret. If you've never listened before, basically we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it and we're inviting you to join the conversation. I'm Alex, and for 10 grand, I will save my ex-girlfriend for you.
I'm Kat, and I'm not queer. I just have a really terrible haircut and am uninterested in the male lead.
Scans.
Yeah.
That's true. Most true sentence you ever said.
Yeah. I'm Brendan, and I'm going somewhere, but at a reasonable amount of speed. I don't want to, risk an accident or something, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm Pippin, and this podcast is a rock and roll fable.
Aww.
Which you'd think would mean there'd be more singing, but, whatever.
I am not joining in on that one. For once.
You never join in the musical bits.
Yeah, no.
You never studied.
While
we were singing, you were studying the blade.
I was studying. God damn it, Pippin. I knew I was going to pick up what he was putting down. I was so fucking proud of myself. Just like a real improver, Brendan.
Pip snatched it up before you.
Pip saw the pattern. She saw the game of the scene.
Oh
I saw the sign.
And it opened up. No, wrong song, guys.
She's starting to believe.
So, speaking of songs, guys, why are we all... Wow. Here I am trying to fucking progress the podcast. For once, I'm on task. And all you other fuckers are just like, it'd be really funny. More song gags.
Yeah.
That scans.
I mean, for this movie, it makes sense.
Kat.
Yeah.
Kat, you just need to remember that tonight is what it means to be young. Anyway.
Listen, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the number I'm counting up to, because that's how many siblings there are, and it's not a musical reference at all. Don't worry about it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Anyways, today we're talking about the 1984 movie Streets of Fire, so spoilers abound. If you want specific content warnings about things we may talk about, check out the show notes on nostorysacred.com. For those of you who've never seen Streets of Fire, the summary according to Google is Raven Shaddock, and my god, that is a fucking name, along with his gang of merciless biker friends.
Hi, we're the biker friends.
That sounds wholesome. Kidnaps rock singer Ellen Aim.
Less wholesome.
Great name.
Oh yeah.
Ellen Aim, amazing.
Oh yeah. Ellen's former lover, soldier for hire Toady. Ellen's former lover, soldier for hire Tom Cody, happens to be passing through town on a visit. In an attempt to save his star act, Ellen's manager Billy Fish hires Tom to rescue Ellen. Billy and Tom, along with former soldier McCoy, battle through dangerous cityscapes, determined to get Ellen back.
And this is largely what happened.
Yeah. Episode's over.
Yeah.
And
Good job,
done.
That's the recap. Hey.
But no,
I will say that Tom Cody, whoever that actor is a guy who definitely has a jaw made for posters.
Oh yeah.
But not for acting.
And definitely can wear the hell out of a trench coat.
That's true, he can.
But, and a shotgun. Again, it makes for great posters. I will point out two things. One, that mustache. And two, everything else. Thank you.
Huh.
Yeah, yep. When the gang he takes a car from, that little gang, when the leader of that calls him pretty boy, and dude, you're much prettier than him.
Aw.
He had, he has pretty elements. Again, the jaw, the shoulders.
It's not.
But
it's not pretty. He's attractive, but not in a pretty way.
Oh,
But
I
he's
can
a
see
rough
that.
soldier for hire.
You know who actually is pretty in that? Is the Green Goblin.
Yeah, Willem DeFoe.
Nah.
Oh, that's right. That's his actual name. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Who I'm going to maintain here right now is a member of the fairy folk who has kidnapped the mortal woman.
Ooh, the mortal woman who can sing for her art.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? It's a fable, guys. It says so right on the tin.
It does.
almost makes up for how misogynistic it is.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Does somebody want to give a rundown?
Well, Raven Shattuck, along with his gang of merciless biker friends, kidnaps rock singer Ellen Abe right in the beginning.
Wow.
Alright, so no shit, there we are.
Holy shit, we're singing.
This is a rock and roll fable in another time, another place.
Where apparently it's, like, where it's legal to kidnap women.
Well, the cops just can't do anything, Al.
You just
Their
can't
hands
do
are
it.
tied.
And gosh, isn't that Tom Cody so cool?
So cool. The cars are really cool. I'll say that. The cars, you know what it is? I know. I know which universe this is in, you guys. This is fucking
What?
Gotham. It's that universe from Batman
wants
animated.
to be Gotham.
No, it's not actually Gotham, but it's the same time, quote unquote, time period as Batman the animated series,
Here's
just
the
a
thing.
different fucking city.
Here's the thing. What you heard me say was,
Yes.
It's not actually that thing. What I actually said was it wants to be like that. It wants that aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
But
The cars-
it failed.
The cars make it. The cars did it. The cars did it.
Yeah, they blew them up.
Yeah,
A
they
lot.
did.
Like, and you can go, oh, that's why your budget is $14 million and you got $8 million back.
So, this is a movie.
It's an
Step
hour and
one.
a half. It's got a fucking banger soundtrack.
That's the correct length of time for that movie.
Yeah. So I made a list of things on my phone of things that Streets of Fire has going for it besides the soundtrack. And let's see.
No.
Likeable characters. No. Believable dialogue. No. Don't want to valve honor on my streets, but
Again, that cop was very much like, I really like you, Tom, and I'm your biggest fan, but I gotta do my job, okay? Okay? Best friends?
Okay.
like,
I made you this friendship bracelet.
it's Tom Cody. Like, he's a badass, and I busted him with a gun once. Man, he's so cool.
God, I wish I was him.
Did he say anything about me? Did he mention my name at all?
Did he? Because I thought it meant something.
The
When I
cop
arrested
has,
him?
like, underneath his seat in the squad car, like, their yearbook from high school.
Oh, yeah.
He cries as he pets it.
Yep.
Yep.
There's a description written by Tom on their senior year.
Except it's
Have a
not
great summer.
really well. It's not really well written. It's kind of chicken scratch.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like,
see.
you're all right, Tom.
Yeah.
Or it's just his name.
Ah, yeah.
Oh man, that's grim shit, guys.
Well, that's the grim streets of not Gotham.
Right. And besides Willem DeFoe, was anyone really acting that well?
Diane Lane.
Diane Lane did a great job, but also, guys, Rick Moranis is in this film, and he is great.
Was that
And
Rick
also-
Moranis?
It's
Yeah.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
He is Ellen Ames' agent, or no, it's her agent and her current lover.
Yeah.
And because
Don't poop where you eat.
look, girls gotta do what she gotta do, right? She's not gonna be young like that forever. Might as well get what she can.
Oh, yeah.
And Tom Cody, can't blame her. Can't blame her. Can blame her a little bit, but
He blames her a lot. He blames her throughout the entire movie
It's true.
until she sleeps with him.
Yeah. And the worst that we can figure out that she did is she waited for 2 years, then figured he was dead.
Yeah.
yep,
Which,
Yeah, he's
legit.
like-
yeah.
You didn't even send a letter.
I thought you were dead
The
in
only
this indescript war.
the only blameless people in this entire fucking film, and who deserve every goodness, are the doo-wop group.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love them. They're fantastic. They don't deserve this. And the random lesbian, who is, because this is the 80s, I guess, is not identified as such, but she has a terrible haircut and does not want to fuck the main character. And she's not a guy. Therefore, only answer is she's gay.
Here's the thing. You're forgetting that random blonde they pick up in the middle of the movie.
Wait, is there a random blonde?
Yeah.
It's funny that you say you're forgetting something.
Cat! I fucking knew it.
I had a lot of plans when it comes to watching this film. I had goals.
And dreams.
And dreams. I actually love this movie. I said it. No, I do. I love it for all that is wrong with it and all that is right.
Just so I know, when was the last time you watched this movie?
1986.
I think I was in high school.
Wow.
Oh, Cat.
But I listened to the soundtrack
We all did.
constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. This was a frequently played cassette back when we were kids, so hey, aging ourselves here a little bit.
Jim Steinman is a fucking god.
It's true.
But yeah, like, whenever we went on long family road trips and eventually as we cross the notch, all of a sudden we wouldn't really get reliable radio signal anymore. That's
Preach it.
would be when we'd switch onto, like, movie soundtracks or audiobooks, depending. Yeah.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, brought to you by, was it Petri Wine?
Petri Wine.
From father to
Petri.
From father to son to father to son. Made with the finest of, it was some kind of grape that they were desperately Muscat grapes that they were desperately trying to sell off. Not like those other wines.
The point being, we listen to the soundtrack a lot. Because the soundtrack is fucking slaps.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that on an album, you guys. Second,
Like
I get
on LP?
on vinyl, guys. On fucking vinyl.
Yeah, if you like 80s jams, then yeah.
If you like Jim Steinman, and we're talking like Jim Steinman who wrote all those good Meatloaf songs, Jim Steinman who wrote those good Celine Dion songs, where a ghost is randomly trying to fuck a woman. That
Totally touches the heart, Cat. Give it some respect.
So a way to enjoy Meatloaf style songs without having to listen to Meatloaf?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. It's, rock ballad. This is a man who knew rock ballads.
Apparently, Meatloaf does have a cover of Nowhere Fast, and I refuse to listen to it.
Yeah, don't bother. Yeah, just listen to Ellen Ames singing it. Hey.
Ellen Ames was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's by Fire Inc. if anyone wants to find it on Spotify later.
Also, guys, his voice, he had the voice of an angel. Oh, was it a voice or a face? I don't know. Point is, her despair at how beautiful this was, it just comes through. Whoever did the singing for that, because I don't believe it was actually Diane Lane.
Nah.
Whoever did the singing fucking knew the assignment, and she delivered it.
So we open on this amazing song.
Yeah. And like the summary promised, the Bomber Gang, led by
Goblin.
Raven. Yeah, read by the Green Goblin, aka Raven Shattuck, aka Willem DeFoe.
AKA
kidnaps
the
her.
actor.
AKA the Fairy King.
Oh, and he's very young and is very, stark in terms of his,
More
facial
skinny
features.
than I would have pictured.
He's wearing a lot of leather.
And so, he kidnaps her, and this kicks off the plot such as it is.
And, our hero for hire has come back into town.
I'm back in town. I'm driving fast.
Nowhere Fast.
And he's like, I guess, I heard that my girlfriend, is fucking around. But yeah. By the way, that's his actual voice. I actually just recorded it. Did you guys notice?
Oh, yeah. Contradicting the summary from Google, he's not passing through. His sister actually sent him a letter saying...
Oh, that's right. His sister's also not a dick in this movie.
Yeah.
The lesbian in this... Okay,
I mean... I mean, he served her coffee, if you know what I mean.
Goddamn right she did. Listen, you don't understand. When I was in college, I went to a specific, how to deal with the fact that you are now in a college where there might be queer people. And how to deal with the fact that, yes, you can try to date them. Cause that's the kind of place that I went to. And it was very clearly explained to us that if some girl asks you for coffee, she's asking you out. And we're all taking notes. We're like, really? That's what's happening? She's like, yes. Remember, it has to be a capital C coffee.
Anyway, movie.
Listen, not a lot happens in this movie, really.
It's true. That way we can get to the story changes faster. Come on.
Watch this. I'm going to do it in a few sentences, okay?
Ooh,
Okay.
oh shit.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa, holy
Okay.
shit.
Which means-
Wait, she's going nowhere.
Which means other people are going to need to behave themselves.
Hold on. I'm going to get a stopwatch here.
Fuck off.
Okay, Pip.
To the moon.
All right.
Go.
Willem DeFoe steals Ellen Ames. Some people might call it kidnapping, whatever. to the bad part of the town. Tom comes to town at the behest of his sister. He, the lesbian, and her boyfriend, Ellen Ames' boyfriend / manager.
I was about to say, like, the lesbian's boyfriend.
Lesbian doesn't have a boyfriend. They go to the bad part of town to rescue them. They blow up half of the bad part of town, in the attempt, and they succeed, saving, Ellen from being raped, because that was comfortable for all of us.
Yeah.
They escape, trials, tribulations, all cops are bastards.
Well, yeah.
In that part of town. They get back, there's some emotions. Rick Moranis is an asshole the entire time. Tom and Ellen get back together in the rain, and sleep together, like, immediately afterwards without talking through their issues. That's not healthy. The cop who, has a crush on Tom is like, hey, you gotta get out of town. Raven is gonna come by, try to kill you. We don't need any, fights of honor in the street. Tom's all like, 10-4, good buddy. Takes Ellen on the train to out of town, knocks her out so the lesbian can get her out of town, and he goes to fight Raven on the streets. They have a big old fight. He knocks out Raven. The other biker bomber people carry him away in their arms, not at all homoerotically. And Ellen finally finishes the performance from which she was kidnapped in the beginning, and Tom leaves her to her life and runs away with the lesbian.
The lesbian!
Who she reiterates is not going to sleep with him.
She's
just
a mechanic, and he has a car.
Yep.
And tonight is what it means to be young. The end.
All right, that was just over 2 minutes, Pippin.
Thank you.
Nice.
Did I miss anything?
You missed the cop buddy being like, when Tom comes back to fight Raven at the end, he's like, well, my plan failed of doing nothing. You got any ideas, Tom?
You also missed the very important doo-wop group.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
That's part of the trials and tribulations as they were escaping the bad part of town. They kind of hijack the doo-wop group's bus.
Who are like, two wrongs do make a right.
Well, that's okay, because they fix it up, because this doo-wop group, they're on the up, but they're new. They're not yet big. And so, as thanks for their, work, they get brought in at Ellen Ames's, return thing to sing backup. And that's...
they also sing the open.
Yeah, they opened for her.
Were they in the open?
Yeah,
then
they
I don't know
opened
what
her.
Okay, so then I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Kids, this teaches the important lesson about being open to networking. You never know.
In whatever form it takes.
Yeah, you never know if the group of highway warriors hijacking your bus happens to be the inn you need to finally make it big in not Gotham.
If I've learned anything this week, you guys, networking.
Yeah.
Networking, and of course, shotguns.
Yeah. Oh, man.
He's pretty with a shotgun, I gotta say.
That's the only time.
Everybody in this film is pretty with a shotgun.
I may or may not have sent to you guys, in the group chat, a great still shot of Tom Cody.
Oh, God. Ugh.
No,
Did
for
that
real.
actor go off and do anything else? Or was it just like, this is the cheapest, handsome jaw we could find?
He plays another character named Tom Cody later, which is in no way a secret sequel to Streets of Fire.
Fucking what?
Listen.
There's a sequel to Streets of Fire? That's a secret?
No, not an official one.
Okay, that mustache is so dumb, but his shoes and trousers are so good.
I was like, he had a mustache? I don't remember the mustache.
Guys, no, he had like a wispy shit mustache.
Oh, the teenager mustache.
Oh God, no, it's not even a porn stash. It's not even good.
He's got peach down.
But it's like, it's not consistent peach down. Like, I would say that the guy who plays Patrick on Schitt's Creek has kind of shitty facial hair. But he's making it work. This just looks like a horny teenager who's desperate to grow that mustache and does not have the testosterone for it.
I just came back from the war, you guys.
But
grizzled now.
All the rest of his costume was just on fucking point. To be fair, all the costumes, I would say, were on point.
Ellen Aim looks so pretty.
She looks so good. But also, he's wearing, like, he's got the fucking sleeveless, like, I don't know. Everything was just good. Except the lesbian. But even for a lesbian, she was wearing a bomber jacket. So
timeline with this movie, did this come out before, like, some of the other actors went on to greatness? I mean, was this like Willem DeFoe, like early career? 'Cause it seems like it.
Well, I mean, he's always been one who's like, yeah, art is art, but I need a paycheck.
Yeah, Willem DeFoe don't give a fuck.
Like when he was in The Lighthouse, him and Robert Pattinson's off in a corner being like, what if I was a lighthouse? And I guess Willem DeFoe's whole deal was like, what if I was Willem DeFoe, but in a lighthouse? So what would I'd sound like this, and I'm done. Paycheck!
Wikipedia says Willem Dafoe's years active as an actor is 1979 to present, and this was 84.
That's early.
Oh yeah, so so that would have been filmed at least a couple of years, like a year before, minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives him maybe one movie before this one, maybe? Or could have been like TV role, to be honest.
Commercials.
Dude, is IMDb at all useful anymore? I don't think it is, but...
I'm looking at Wikipedia. He's got Heaven's Gate, The Loveless, The Hunger, New York Nights, then Streets of Fire.
Okay,
I'm
I
looking
love
at the exact same
every
thing.
single fucking title there. I think that's amazing.
4 films.
Well, I think it's fair to say that we are part of the Willem DeFoe fan club, right?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I fucking love him.
We know all the things he's been
Listen, his ass as Green Goblin was astonishing.
Anyway,
man.
Streets of Fire.
Streets of Fire, the movie that we're talking about right now.
That we're all trying desperately not to talk about.
Well, it desperately wanted to be like a rock opera brought to film, because there is music playing constantly throughout the film. Rarely is it diegetic.
Which I'm disappointed about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. Like, that diegetic means that it's actually part of the film as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
as
coming
opposed
from
to extra diegetic, which is where we're hearing it, but the characters aren't. Like,
Yeah, so,
like horror stings.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Ellen Ames singing in the beginning is a diegetic song because she's singing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
and everybody there knows that.
Yes.
Yeah.
For most of the rest of the film, it's overlaid so we don't hear
Which
them
is too
singing.
bad. I'm actually now remembering my favorite bit of diegetic music that was originally thought to be extra diegetic, which is when Venkman in Ghostbusters taps the keys on the piano, and we don't see it first. We just hear it, and it sounds like a sting, right? And then the camera goes to him, and you realize it's just him fucking around on a piano.
Yeah.
They hate it when they hate it when you do this.
The very, very opening of, Lucifer, the TV show, like the first minute, there's a song going as, we get the establishing shots of Los Angeles. Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Ooh, yeah.
It's playing, as we do the establishing shot, and you go like, haha, yes, the show about the devil, we get it. And as we pan down, we find out that Lucifer is blaring it from his car. So it goes from extra diegetic, and we find out that it's diegetic.
Which is that's a fun film trick. For all you
It's
people
always fun.
desperately trying to make films and listening to our
So-
podcast for tips. There's a free one for you.
Fuck you, I'm a professional.
Yeah. Well, one thing that kind of occurred to me as I was watching this movie again was like, how much better would this movie have been if they had just fully accepted what they wanted to be and basically did like In the Heights, but in Gotham?
Here's the
yeah.
thing. I think that is what I glanced through the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
I think that
Glanced.
is what they wanted to do. They had a specific vision. I
Yeah.
just think that they failed at executing it.
Well,
There was
the question is, why? Was it a money
too many.
thing?
There was too many ingredients in the stew.
How do you figure? Because the plot that we've described is what one might say thin.
Haha.
Well, yeah.
So I think actually there weren't enough ingredients.
Ooh.
Like, for instance, any motivation.
Oh,
Wait till mine changes.
Oh no.
Oh.
No, you see, there was motivation, but it became out so stiff that it fell flat.
Well, I think maybe are you talking about the motivation? I think there is motivation on the part of Tom Cody, but I don't think there is motivation on the part of, like, Green Goblin. Clearly, he's just there to fuck around and find
So to
out.
speak.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question. Could good actors have saved this?
There were good actors,
There
though.
were.
Oh, no, I mean, like, consistently, across the board, like the heroes.
Good direction, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder a lot about the direction of this movie.
Watch me like somebody went on to do like amazing things and we're just kind of poo-pooing it all. It's still a memorable film.
So can you guys give an example of the direction? Because I don't remember it clearly at all.
Well, just how the actors are tackling it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the composition is all right.
Okay, so that's kind of what I was going for. Like, is it the...
If a bit...
Stiff.
Yeah. Like...
Issues with pacing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, pacing is a huge issue, which is unfortunate because technically there's like, if you dive in, if you dig around, and you wipe it off, there's a solid task. There's a plot, there's a, you gotta go there, you gotta get her, you gotta come back. That's solid, man.
You know what movie did this really well? Kind of a similar road trip, but awesome.
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Whoa!
They essentially just go a place and come back.
Oh, yeah. None of the characters were likable or liked each other. And like, it got to the point of like, then like, where you're like, why the fuck are you even in here?
I like the sister and brother thing.
Here's one thing I think makes it feel like it didn't really move or anything. The characters didn't really have a lot of character progression.
Yeah.
You end the movie more or less how it started.
Yes.
Oh, because
almost exactly.
Yeah.
But they like each other now. Like,
Hooray.
like Tom and Billy, respect each other and like, I may be the one she needs, but you're the one she loves. So like,
It's a good line, to be fair. I don't mind that.
It was one of the only good lines.
Well, it's Rick Moranis.
That was a great line. Yeah, but just yesterday you said you were saying how stupid he was, and there was nothing in between to change that.
Well,
absolutely none of it was earned.
Yeah, the earning is a big part.
In between that was beating up Willem DeFoe.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to try and talk shit at the man who, shot up an entire gang and beat up Willem DeFoe? I don't think so.
I mean, he was willing to talk shit to him earlier.
Yeah, but that's before he beat up Willem DeFoe.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's
He was in
the key.
Congress for that.
So I want to bring this vaguely around to an educational point. What, for our listening audience, is that there's two kinds of movement, right? Or at least we're describing two different kinds of movement in this story. There's a progression of plot where there literally, like, is shit happening, right? And then there's the progression of the characters. Like, have they actually changed? And that's the thing that I think that people need to remember, is because we are all affected by everything we do, right? Like, I am going to be a different person after this podcast than I was when I started.
Oh,
But
we
when
all are.
But when your characters don't change, then whatever they've been doing evidently is nothing. It's poof. It could be a dream. It's garbage. It's not real because they didn't change. And that takes you out of a story. So you have to have two kinds of movement. And I don't know why suddenly I'm kind of New York, but there it is.
Because it's not Gotham.
Also,
Maybe I'm Boston. Yeah.
No. We're
not doing that anymore.
I want to point out that you can get away with a lot in terms of, bad plot holes, things like that, if it moves fast enough. So
Move fast, look pretty.
yeah. So if you're moving fast, the audience can't go, but wait, what? That doesn't make sense, because they're already going like, and now this cool thing? Before they realize that the cool thing doesn't make sense.
Well, it's like the Indiana Jones thing as well.
Because, ideally, if the audience is going, wait, what? If you're moving fast enough, all of a sudden you have something else happening. It's like, okay, I don't give a shit about that anymore. Let's do the next thing, because you know what? That was pretty cool. You can get away with it if you do that. It's just like, mindless action, mindless romance, mindless whatever.
Yeah. And one of the examples I can think of, just of bad pacing and also bad character or stuff, is when they get to the bad part of town, the Battery, like they're sneaking around, and they run into a homeless person, and there's like I know where they brought out the girl, and they brought her down to Torchy's, his second floor, and Tom's like, good, Billy, you pay the man for the info, and really reluctantly does after being threatened. And then he points out, I already said that they were going to bring her to Torchy's. And he did.
Yeah, we got that information twice.
You know what? It's that thing where, it's a wasted chess move, right?
Yeah.
You had a minute of the audience's attention and you did fucking that with it?
I remember an old screenwriting professor of mine.
Ooh, tell us the stories, Brendan.
Yes. Basically point out that exact point there where you have a limited economy of minutes in a screenplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're spending an entire minute telling me something, it's gonna be important.
Yep.
And it's an important minute in the most important weekend of these characters' lives, basically, is the time frame of standard movie is like basically a weekend where shit happens.
Why is this the story that's being told right now?
Yeah.
What is the moment of change that's happening for these characters?
Because that 1 minute of the homeless informant telling you stuff you already knew could have been spent doing anything else, like character development.
Yeah, for instance.
Yeah.
But going back to I really want to bring up Indiana Jones because that's a thing where somebody takes a character and you stick him in a situation and you say, go fetch. And then we as the audience get to watch him go fetch. And it's not until after you're done, and he's doing things that he as a character would do, right? And he's coming out the other end having learned how to punch Nazis even better. Things like that. But it's not until you're out of the movie theater and you actually think about it that you're like, wait a second. If he hadn't been part of this story at all, the exact same thing would have happened. The Nazis would have found the Ark and would have gotten their faces melted off. Done.
Yeah.
So he, in practical terms, did fucking all for the story. But he was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And we got to be like, oh, here's what this guy would do in this situation. And that's, you gotta think about that kind of thing. And do we give a fuck what Cody would do in this situation? I don't. I'm glad the girl got rescued, but that's about it.
If he was more charismatic, I would have.
Yeah.
See, well, there's that. Not all of us could be Harrison Ford.
Because many change I'd do. This doesn't count as to what I'd actually be doing, but replace
Steal it now.
the actor with Tom Hardy.
Oh shit. Wait. Okay, Tom Hardy, yes. But what about Channing Tatum? And the reason I'm saying is because I think he can sing too.
I mean, here's the thing. Tom Cody does not necessarily need to sing if everyone else is singing around him, and that can be its own weird character thing.
You're right, that might be funnier. Yeah. Wait, is Channing Tatum Willem DeFoe? No, he would never do that. He would never kidnap a girl randomly. He might be the boyfriend, though. He might be Rick Moranis.
I think he'd have fun with that.
That would be so fucking funny if he was Rick Moranis. Okay, I'm good now.
And people just say, and you're cowardly and you're short.
And you're short.
But to basically reiterate Brendan's point,
now that I derailed, good.
Yeah, got us back on track.
Wow.
There is a very limited amount of time in the movie, and also it costs money. So
What?
every single choice
All
has
of them.
to be deliberate. Every one of them. Why is that curtain blue? There's a reason.
In a
Even
movie,
if that
yes.
reason was, it's the cheapest at Target that day, there is a reason.
Yeah.
Well, and if that's the one that's cheap at the Target that day, then we're like, maybe we need to add blue to other scenes. Because now it means feelings.
And when it comes to written stories, books, and things like that, if it's not important, why bring it up?
Yeah.
And
Don't have
this is-
meaningless conversations in your stories just for the sake of it. It should always be in service to the plot, such
Or,
as
or the character.
Well,
yeah.
I have a weird nuts and bolt suggestion on that one, which is that my kind of go-to for whether or not dialogue belongs is, does it do at least two things? One of the things should be progressing the plot and the other one should be progressing the characters. Now, theoretically though, you can switch one of those out if, for instance, you need a moment of levity. Okay? Like, heavy shit's been going down. This is a cheap way to do it. So you can switch out one of this progresses characters, this progresses plot. But you can't switch out both.
I would argue the moment of levity is in service to progressing the plot because that helps build up the tension and surprises later on in the plot.
Well, I would say, for me, plot is like the things that happen, whereas the story is how you've told it.
Fair enough.
Everything is in service to one of three things.
Ooh, okay.
It is either in service to the plot, it is either in service to the character, or it is either in service to the reader.
Ooh, shit, yeah.
So that moment of levity, maybe it's not a character development, maybe it's not progressing the story, but it is giving something to the reader who might have needed a moment to breathe after whatever the fuck just happened.
But what I'm saying
exposition also falls under this.
But here's the thing. I would say that if you technically, I think that going and asking the homeless guy there where it is, and then you get that little brief joke, that's only the moment of levity. I think you need to have 2 of those 3 elements going on at any one time. If you can't pinpoint how it's 2, either recast your dialogue or get rid of it.
Here's the thing. It might have worked as a moment of levity without the other 2 if it weren't repeating something.
Yeah.
That was the main sin of that one.
Because then it would have been plot. See, you get your plot and your levity. See?
Because the homeless person could have been like, yeah, I know you might want to go in through that door that you're heading towards, but let me tell you, they got a team of guys with shotguns on the other side. You'll be dead in 5 seconds. You want to go in through the food service entrance.
Or even just, I gotta say, you could do something real short and pithy. Yeah, of course they took her to Tommy's, but this ain't Tommy's. Get it? So they've changed locations. So he's given some new everybody's information's still good.
Yeah.
It's just that it's also wrong. And then it's a good moment. And then you also find out kind of place that the battery is. Woo. Anyway, if it's something that you can't do, naturally, I guess, and you're really not sure, oh, people say that my dialogue isn't doing what I need. This is a way to look at it from a quality, thank you, a mechanic's view of it.
Yeah.
Also, if people are saying that your dialogue isn't working, take a moment and actually examine how people talk.
Yep.
Go to a coffee shop, eavesdrop like crazy.
Start reading your shit out loud and seeing where you're like, oh wow, that feels gross in my mouth to say. Like just word shapes,
If you're confident enough, ask a friend to read it out loud for you, and then listen to them. Try to actually say that with actually any emotion, and go, oh, that's why.
Oh no. Or I like to have I have one of those really old Kindles, before they started locking down on the ability to turn text to speech. So have your robot read it to you, and you're sitting there being like, oh no. Because you as the author know how it's supposed to sound, right? You're adding in the acting. But the robot doesn't know shit.
So,
yeah.
Let's,
and your friend as well.
Yeah. So we covered the story as well as some of our, kind of philosophical points of, storytelling here.
Yeah, the point of the podcast.
Let's talk about changes.
Changes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go first.
Fair enough.
I'm actually, gonna add another element to this too. Even though, I said that in my opinion, it has too much. I am actually going to make it magic and make Raven and a fucking fairy king.
Yeah.
Get all labyrinth on this shit.
Oh my god, yeah. Dance magic dance.
And why did it happen? No, because she was singing on Halloween, and that's when he's in the moral realm goes, hey you're coming back with me.
Guys,
she made a deal for her voice.
She went to Carter Hall for a concert, and there she plucked a double rose to throw to the audience. And he should have been like, what the fuck are you doing here?
But that would make Tom Cody would have to be Tamlin.
Damn it.
No, Pip, you were about to say that she made a deal for her voice. Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
But
because she doesn't write her own songs.
That's a devil thing. That's a different corner. You don't deal with the fairies like that.
Fairies grant you favors.
They grant you favors, but
she doesn't write her own songs.
She doesn't. That's true.
Well, because here's the thing: fairies don't actually exist, so we can add extra rules here.
What?
I
said it.
Believe it.
Guys, it's a good thing that we are not over there. Let's just say that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna touch iron, and Brendan will just have to deal.
Yeah.
We'll miss him.
Yeah.
I can still hear his voice sometimes.
Yeah, and I know. Tom Cody, he's a witcher now or something.
Toss a coin to your Cody.
Oh god.
Like, I mean, he's only slightly less personable than Geralt.
Geralt would not have stood for any of this fucking shit.
Geralt would not have grown that fucking mustache. Sorry, I have a lot of feelings about that mustache. It just ruined a lot of things for me.
Geralt would have argued for 2,000, for 20,000.
Jaskier would have been having a great time.
Jaskier, he's a musician. He'd been like,
Yeah, he is.
I've come home.
I am not going to write a Streets of Fire
Yeah, you are.
The
Yeah, you
Witcher
are.
AU.
Fucking
Yeah, you are. This
absolutely
is
are.
gonna
I'm
happen
going to
now.
remind you every goddamn day for the rest of your life.
Where Jaskier gets stolen, and Geralt has to...
Yes.
Yeah.
Pippin.
Yeah.
Nobody talk to me.
And
Nobody
there's
talk
leather.
to me right now. Somebody else go.
yeah, and also McCoy is just a normie lesbian and goes, "What the fuck is this magic shit?" And I'm like, it's like I'm back in high school.
Everybody keeps trying to seduce her. She's like, you are not my type. And you are not my type. And you are not my type.
Hey, Ellen, how you doing?
How you doing, Ellen? You okay? You good?
You want to get out of here?
Hell yeah. Speaking of, I want to go.
Yep.
Come on, guys. I'm going to steal Pippin's thunder on this one.
God damn it.
Obviously, McCoy's a lesbian and the sister need to get together. Forget all the rest of the fucking plot. I don't care about it anymore. You know, it'd be really funny. I'm going to say it. Would it be really, really funny if, Tom Cody got his head busted in, like, not even to the first third of the film. Okay? He's come back from the war. He's like, I gotta do something. And then he gets his ass whooped. Okay? Maybe he's been kidnapped too. Point is, now the sister's like, well, shit, I did this. McCoy's like, well, shit, I was supposed to be his backup. I did this. And then they look at each other and said, self-blame together? And then they, Bonnie and Clyde that, except it's Bonnie and Bonnie. Forget, there's not going to be any, like, fainting whatevers. They're going to put together some bombs. They're going to blow shit up. Oh, and they're going to kick a lot of people in the nuts. They're going to rescue everyone. Ellen Ames, or whatever her name is, says, thank you so much for rescuing me, and my idiot, ex-boyfriend. They're like, no problem. If we could have come just for you, we would have, but, you know, he's family, so we gotta take him too. Ellen goes off to nurse him or whatever. They have their own story. We don't care. I don't care what happens to them. They've been rescued, and now we go right back to focusing on McCoy and the sister. And now that the excitement has gone, McCoy's like, maybe I gotta leave town. And, you know, you're in your diner. That's okay. You know, that's, I understand that's your life. And the sister's like, maybe I don't want it to be my life. Maybe I've been going nowhere fast.
Have you considered that tonight is what it means to be young?
Oh my God. Oh, and then of course, I'm gonna do it. You know, McCoy says, you know, but I gotta leave town and I don't know, you know, besides, you're probably straight. And the sister's like, wait, what? Cause I love those kind of stories. Like, no, you're probably straight. So I gotta leave town and because my feelings are hurt. I'll get over it someday. And I definitely won't ask you what your feelings are. And then, so the sister's like wiping down a counter and she starts crying and then she sniffs and then she throws down her rag and she starts, somehow she has a duffel bag behind the counter. She starts pulling up, stuffing, I don't know, dishware into it. And just that moment, car roars up and busts down the door of the diner. Okay. And McCoy leans out the window and says, I couldn't leave without you. And the sister raises up her thing and it's like, I got money for the road. And she jumps into it and then the car squeals out and it zooms off and, because this is the 80s, unfortunately we don't get a kiss, but we do see them putting their hands together, raised, like Thelma and Louise, holding hands up in the air as the wheels go squealing off into the night and you just see the lights fade as they leave the city. Thank you and good night.
Well, okay then.
But Pip, would you watch my movie? Would you watch that movie?
I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about my story.
Uh-huh.
Because my story's the best.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Wow.
Well, no, because here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has a lot of structural issues.
Yes, it
that
does.
would need to be fixed first.
Say what?
I know, right?
Sounds fake.
And I mentioned earlier that part of my problem with this movie is that nobody really has any motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Moranis is motivated by money. Great.
No, that's valid. He has a valid motivation.
That's
I mean,
true,
it's not, well, like, okay, it's not valid, but it's a good one.
It is a recognized motivation.
Also, Ellen is his girlfriend, and I assume he does actually like her.
Well,
debatable.
He likes
Very.
that she's a meal ticket, and she likes that he's providing opportunities for her to be a meal ticket.
So, But also he doesn't, like, grow or change or anything.
Yeah,
like,
that.
no one in this movie grows or changes or anything.
Except for the last 5 minutes and they suddenly respect each other.
Yeah, out of nowhere. So that, in general, one of the things I would fix would be just the characters and making them better. But since the point of this is to try to make bigger, changes. So, here is what I'm thinking. Ellen. She's real pretty.
Yeah,
one might say, that she's a face that launched 1,000 ships.
Oh?
No.
Yeah.
And burnt the topless towers of Ilium.
Thank you,
So
Kit Marlowe.
what if we rearrange the structure to make it more like, the Iliad?
Iliad, yes.
Yeah. Odysseys is the other one. That's the going home to Penelope.
I for a second I was worried that there was a third one whose name I forgot.
That's Mortimer. It's different. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we don't talk about Mortimer. Because in the sort of classic tale, Helen, rhymes with Ellen,
Hell yeah.
is promised to Paris in the whole who's the fairest goddess battle, because that's what we do with mortals.
Obviously.
And Aphrodite, or possibly Venus, depending on how you're looking at it, goes like, hey, Paris, if you choose me as fairest, I'll give you the prettiest mortal woman on the earth.
And because he's like a fucking teenager, I guess, he's like,
Yeah, okay. It's like, done. And nobody either bothered to ask Helen or check to see if maybe she was already spoken for. Which she was married. She got stolen off anyway. A whole big war started about it. Maybe you read about it in the story called the Iliad. And basically the Trojan War happens. So basically what I'm saying is, what if we have the Trojan War? We could have a whole big, Trojan horse. People can die, even though part of the point of this movie is that no one dies.
wait,
Yeah.
no one does?
No one dies.
Huh,
Like,
okay.
motorcycles explode underneath them, but yeah, they're alright.
Nobody dies listen, it was part of their goal in making the film was that nobody would die.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But yeah, that'd be really interesting set pieces. And also then we have a structure that we know fucking works.
That's true, because what's the Warriors, right? Warriors, I would argue, not always the best acted film. It's got some weird shit, but it's a cult classic. And not the way that Streets of Fire is.
Cult classic complimentary, as opposed to cult classic derogatory.
One of my favorite memes that I don't entirely understand, but appreciate.
And you would think I would have, done a bit more research into what exactly happens in the Iliad before this. But why would I start being responsible now?
That's not important.
What's important is I had a brilliant idea.
Fair enough.
And we're done.
All right. So buckle up, because I'm going to...
Oh, God.
Nah. It's not going to be that crazy here, because you know what was occurring to me as the story started? Where's the band in all this?
You're right.
Oh my God, where?
So,
I know where they are. They're on Glee.
well, no.
Sorry.
Fuck off.
Old Glee joke.
Mr. Shu has no place here.
He's in the bathroom.
So here's the thing that I was thinking of as I was like kind of watching the movie and thinking about what I'd changed necessarily, because my mind wandered a lot while watching this, so sue me. What was the band doing? And honestly, I wanted to have Tom's involvement in this be a bit more personal and connected with that. So I'm thinking that in the backstory, before Tom went to war and changed whatever, he was part of the band.
Did they play Waltzing Matilda?
No. And what happens in the past is that Tom was the songwriter, and also maybe did like rhythm guitar or maybe lead guitar or something like that.
Say, like, does he play like sexy saxophone?
Yeah, he does.
He's a bassist.
Well, knowing how the bass gets played in Streets of Fire, sure. The song, not the movie. Maybe the movie too, whatever. No, just maybe plays an instrument and can also sing too, but the thing is, it's Ellen who really made the songs come alive. So they had a really good partnership, but the war happened, and apparently it was a big deal because a lot of the people that were older than, say, 25, which I would argue that Willem DeFoe's character is like teens, probably, at least as how he's portrayed. So punk kid, hey.
Hey.
So I'm thinking that Ellen, like the movie, maybe thought that Tom had been killed in the war. So she's trying to just strike it out as much as she can with the band, try to, to provide for them, and is doing her level best. It's not as good as it was back in the days with Tom. But, the new manager, Billy, hooks up with a good songwriting talent and all that. So is able to have some margin of what she used to be with Tom there and the band. I want to have the band be actually characters too again, because like Pippin was mentioning, Tom gets brought back in with, by the band, kind of the emotional plea, not necessarily the money plea.
I like that.
And part of the overarching story, as shown in the movie, is going to be Tom getting his music back.
How Tom got his music back.
How Tom got his muse back?
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
What?
Nice.
Puns? Sorry.
Hey. No, I just think that then would also give Tom an emotional core in this movie that honestly he is lacking. Aside from, I have a shotgun and I know how to use it. But in this one, he could be, I have a shotgun, I know how to use it, and I'm conflicted about that fact. Because I used to play the guitar, not the shotgun.
Ooh.
Not as many strings on a guitar.
Yeah.
On a shotgun.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to play. Hey.
And suddenly we're in El Mariachi, and
another really good movie. Six-String Samurai.
Oh, Six-String. Now there's a movie that's a rock opera.
Now, again, this, having the band be involved as well, would allow for a lot more music to be played diegetically throughout the movie. I think it just makes more sense. And then, hell, the motorcycle gang, the Bombers, they could just be a rival band, and they're just trying to make sure that Ellen's out of the picture so that they can secure, like, the gig at Madison Square Garden's equivalent or something.
Is it a battle of the bands?
Sure. There's gonna be a battle of the bands at the end.
Fuck yeah.
I just realized another thing that after you're done. Oh, just another plot that they could have stolen. West Side Story.
Which is Romeo and Juliet, obviously.
Yeah. But West Side Story explicitly has gangs. So,
yeah.
I mean, come on, guys.
When you're a jet all the way.
From your first cigarette to your last
dying
car
dead.
you gotta dump.
Nice.
I just think that would create a lot more emotional beats or opportunities for emotional beats that there just weren't present before. And you know what? Then we could have at the finale there, the last song being sung by Ellen, but then it merges into a duet because Tom decides to stay.
Aww. He finally steps out into the light.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, like he's been avoiding spotlights the entire movie because, again, that could be like a visual representation of PTSD, how it's obscuring his music and all that. But now he's comfortable being seen again.
Oh, also, maybe that was maybe part of what was, kind of going on between them, like on behind the scenes, that she's like, you gotta be part of this too. And he's like, no, that, you're the face. I'm just the words. That kind of thing.
Oh, but it turns out he can sing. He has the voice of an angel. And, this could also maybe serve as a good method for addressing issues of toxic masculinity and all that, and how seeking help and therapy and advice is actually a good thing. Hey.
What?
All through the magic of metaphor in film.
Like, wait, you mean to say that not being an asshole to everyone means that people treat me nicer?
Weird. I know.
What?
And the thing is, like, that's why he gets into this adventure in the first place, because his band knows how he used to be before the war, and that's why they want him in on this, because they remember. They want to try and,
The North remembers.
Yeah. Also, conveniently, they know that Tom can kick a lot of ass, because we can still have exploding motorcycles and all that, but now we can have characters singing while they do it, and wouldn't that be fun?
The dream.
He ran away, and he joined the army. And so now he's got a certain set of skills.
He would find you.
And he will kill you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's good.
So yeah. So that's my change. It's gonna be full-on musical, eventual battle of the bands. It's gonna happen.
Amazing.
So, anyone want to do a game?
A game?
A game?
A game.
A game.
Everybody ought to have a game.
Fuck yeah, I want special appearance by, because I know who I want.
Son of a bitch.
I know who I want.
I don't trust you.
Okay,
I'm
go for
calling
it, Kat.
Go for it.
Yeah, I already said it earlier in this podcast. I want Indiana Jones to fucking show up.
Oh, poor Tom. He's gonna feel so inferior.
Yeah,
Good.
But here's the thing. You know what would happen if Indy showed up on that street? He'd put on some fucking disguise and speak in a dumb accent, talking about the tapestries. And then he'd be like, maybe I could beat up all these people, or how about I just make a funny face and set the whole thing on fire?
Listen,
I like how the end result is still the entirety of the battery is on fire.
Yes. But I think he would just be more charming at it.
Yeah, of course.
listen, fire may not be the answer, but it's certainly an answer.
All right, that's mine. That's all. I just think, can you imagine how much fun this movie would be if fucking Indiana Jones showed up?
I mean, most things are more fun if
yeah.
Indiana Jones shows
That's
up.
why he's a meta character.
So, okay, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to go right into mine.
Oh, of course.
And I don't know how it's going to work because I refuse to think about it too hard. Like most things, really, if you think about it, which I won't. So there's McCoy, right?
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
But you know who my favorite McCoy is?
Oh, no.
No.
Bones!
God damn it.
So
Well, a
if-
transporter
We've lost Pippin
accident.
now. We've lost Pippin. She's gone now.
Oh, my dearest boy.
Listen, the Enterprise flew through some weird cosmic gas. McCoy was on a transporter. He's gonna hate it even more after this.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how often that man ends up in another time. Married to a strange person on a strange planet. Just sort of fucking dealing with whatever situations around him. But you know what he's gonna do? His goddamn best. He's an officer of Starfleet and a fucking doctor.
Wait, I thought he was a floor wax. Oh!
New Dr. McCoy is a doctor
There-
and a floor wax.
wax.
He's dead, Jim.
But look at that shine.
We need to
Obscure reference number 22.
we need to put the Star Trek comedy album on the list.
Oh god.
I've trained people who have no idea of the even existence of the Star Trek comedy album to say he's dead, Jim, but look at that shine.
The mental link to the Star Trek comedy album is the fact that we also had that on cassette, and you know what? That would
Yep.
also be part of the rotation on the drive through the lonely mountains of New Hampshire. Go on.
Ask us about Band from Argo. So, I'm not sure if he actually fucking solves anything, but you know what? He doesn't hurt.
Oh, that's why everyone comes out of it not dead.
That's true.
Now we
And
know.
they are missing several bottles of good Kentucky bourbon.
Hey, but people who are missing limbs before
Yeah.
suddenly aren't.
Convenient.
Somebody who's missing a brain before. That's how Tom comes back.
Listen,
Hooray.
straight up in one of the movies, Dr. McCoy gives someone a new kidney when they're back in time and he really shouldn't have fucking done that. He was like,
Listen.
dialysis? What are we in the Dark Ages?
Listen, McCoy, don't give a fuck.
No.
It's true. Alright, Al?
Yeah. Fuck it. Let's go with Spike Spiegel from
Oh,
Cowboy Bebop.
I was thinking about Cowboy Bebop while we were talking.
Yeah, because this seems like one of the gigs that the Bebop crew would end up doing and hating every minute of it.
Also, Cowboy Bebop does music like this movie wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yoko Kanno doing...
that was Cowboy Bebop did a lot of the aesthetic that this movie was trying to do.
but in a sci-fi veneer.
Side note, you guys have seen the set photos, right?
Yeah, of course.
What?
Come on. Oh, the
No.
set photos for the Netflix Cowboy Bebop. John Cho has hair.
Yeah, no, sorry guys.
Well, look at it later, and you'll appreciate John Cho's hair.
And suit.
Yeah.
And suit.
Yeah, let's see. No, he shows up at Richmond, I think it's called, the place.
Yeah.
Richmond. Yeah, that's what they called that borough, without being a borough.
Yeah. Like, he is probably walking off a hangover.
As we all do.
He goes into the cafe, and you know what? That night, It's Tim that walks through the door and not
Tom.
Yeah, and not Tom.
Tom actually got arrested by those cops.
Nice.
Like, you gotta help, and like, Spike, like, they stole Ellen, and like, stole? Like, you could just call it kidnapping. Spike and take care of the entirety of the bombers without killing them.
Yeah.
I like how I'm sitting here being like, yes, these are characters.
Yeah.
Definitely know them.
Ask that boy of yours.
You can't tell me what to do.
But
Can't I?
And Spike would actually be down for a sledgehammer fight right in the middle of the streit. I mean,
To be fair, sledgehammer fights are fucking cool.
yeah. I mean,
Not that I've ever done it.
he'd wipe the floor with him with that, but it'd be a fun time. And then
So-
he'd collect the bounty.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He would definitely take Rick Moranis' money.
Oh yeah.
So, side note, right? So, Jim Steinman wrote Nowhere Fast and says what it means to be young. He also wrote, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that is actually a song I associate with Cowboy Bebop
Oh yeah.
because of a specific AMV.
Wow.
So that's part of my connection here. And this is all to say that when the new Netflix series comes out, I hope that someone makes a new fan vid to that too. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Okay.
All right, so it's me, and this will be a favorite of you guys. Mm-hmm. Norman Osborne, kinda.
Yes!
In his youth,
Oh, is it?
was part of a gang. And you know what? That's right. The city here actually is New York, and it's in the Sam Raimi Spider-Verse. After his run-in with Tom Cody, our guy here, what was his name?
Raven.
Raven. Goes and assumes a new identity, has his connections in the criminal underworld, whip up a new persona out of nothing, and his name was Norman. Norman, that's a nice normal name, right?
Normal.
Respectable.
Normal. Ooh.
And yeah, through his connections in the New York underground, he gets more connections, more money, and slowly but surely creates the powerful Oscorp. And the rest, as they say, is history, as he eventually turns into a Green Goblin and, attacks Spider-Man. Hey.
And gives, and it spawns James Franco.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Wait, does this mean that on one of his rides as the Green Goblin, he takes a quick detour to toss some goblin grenades at Tom Cody's place?
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, totally.
Once the Green Goblin stuff fully takes over, I mean, come on. No question.
That was honestly, that was, errand number one.
Yeah. Well, errand number one was destroying the scientist or whatever who told him no, he couldn't have that funding or human testing. Errand number two, on the way home to his apartment, was to drop a whole bunch of pumpkin bombs on Tom Cody's apartment.
Really, that was just responsible testing.
Yeah.
And then his sister comes back to town and says, what happened to my brother? And that's when McCoy shows up. It's like, you're back in town? Cause I never thought, you said you were never coming back. Just like, well, my brother got blown up by, Green Goblin, so I guess I gotta, spend some time in town. But we don't have to see each other, obviously. It's like, no, of course not.
Are they basically Tig Notaro and her wife?
Yes!
Okay.
So yeah, that's me. Yeah, we're making this, the Sam Raimi Spider-Verse. Haha.
That's
Because
amazing.
everything's the same Raimi Spider-Verse now.
Everything's
true.
all in one. Ha.
Oh man, remind me to send you a post from a darker timeline.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that. They believed it for so long.
And what's great
You
is
don't look at the username.
So, yeah. Hey, that was Streets of Fire, y'all.
Yeah, it was.
I think what we can all agree on is that we've been going nowhere slowly. And we've got to get away from the past. Because there's nothing wrong with going nowhere, baby. But we should be going nowhere
fast. Listen, that's a fucking great album.
Oh yeah.
And Jim Steinman was an artist.
That song is one of my favorites. And also one of my favorite AMV is to the movie to the anime movie, a Red Line, which you guys should watch at some point, because it's good.
Everyone should watch Jeremy Jordan's cover of Total Eclipse of the Heart and the really long Celine Dion one.
There are nights when something was so cold.
It's all coming back to me now.
There's a great AMV for It's All Coming Back to Me Now. That's entirely the comic books, Steve and Bucky. Like, somebody spent time on that. It's amazing.
Does anybody have anything to plug?
I do. I got a shit ton to plug, you guys.
Yeah. Just thinking about that.
Oh my god. I have a ton to plug. So, it's still up available. I was just at ReaderCon, and you can still actually, buy a registration and get to see an entire 3 days worth of content that's been recorded and available. It's going to be only there for 6 months. Other things coming up. I was invited to participate in Flash Fiction Online's 100th issue.
Woo!
And keen readers may recall that I have a story in that from Flash Fiction Online called Your Hand in Mine Will Be All Right. So I believe the current plan is that for the celebration, I will be doing a reading, a recorded reading of that story, and answering an interview, a brief interview, which includes stuff about this very podcast.
What?
Dun dun dun.
And then finally, I believe sometime in November or right around the turn of the year, I have also been asked to participate in a reading of strong women and non-binary writers and their works. And more information as I have it.
Nice.
Woo!
Cool.
Yeah, and I know, like, a lot happens in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I, as usual, have my shows happening online on the Arcade Comedy Theater's YouTube page. So check that out. There's playlists and everything. You can find Select Start pretty easily now. Hey.
Aw, and Brendan's got amazing character work, so.
Weird, right?
See him in real life.
Kinda.
What? Well, you'll see his face.
You'll see his face.
That's true.
Well, no, not just your face. You stand, so you embody the space. There you go.
Well, that's how you do good Zoom prov, everybody. Stand. Anyway.
Standing. Hey, twins.
Yeah.
We're just better than other people.
It's a mystery.
Oh my
Keep
god.
on saying that every single time, yet I haven't seen any proof.
Pixar didn't happen.
Listen. The moment I start putting effort into things, it's over for you bitches.
Yeah, I'm gonna, just really wait on that one. So
Bring
if you
it.
could just,
Fuck all y'all. I'm just better.
Bring it on.
Listen, also,
A great
Alex
movie.
is better. Bring it, we should Bring It On sometime.
Bring It On, it's a great movie.
Also, Alex is better than all of us. Are you going to deny that?
Hey, what?
No.
You're better than the rest of us.
Oh, thank you.
That's like the living meme of our family, Alex. Did you miss that? See, he's humble too, guys.
I tell complete strangers that he's better than us.
Well, yeah, obviously. Anyway.
Yeah.
Guys, is it time for us to get out of here?
Yeah.
I believe it is.
There's ice
All
cream
right.
in my freezer calling to me.
Holy shit, do I have ice cream? Okay. As
Look,
always,
McCoy has the car heated up. We gotta get going.
we gotta get going. I have this bag full of dishware.
Listen, tonight is what it means to be young.
Okay. As always, if you have an idea or prompt to submit, head on over to nostoryissacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter at nostoryiссacred or send an email through contact@nostoryiссacred.com. Your hosts have been Alex McDonald, Pippin McDonald, Brendan McDonald, and Catherine Creighton. Editing for this episode done by Brendan. Transcript done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcript are available at nostoryiссacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone, and please rate, review, and subscribe to No Story is Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostoryiссacred. See you next time when we talk about an original story idea from me.
Mm-hmm.
But Pippin, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Pippin.
Why?
It's science fiction, space, folk horror.
Can I skip?
It won't be actually scary. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
I don't trust your judgment.
I mean,
You
I
shouldn't.
had exploding brain larva last time, so...
That's a very good... I will say, so far in my encapsulation of this plot idea, there's no brain larva. So far. Until then, where no story is sacred, and any story can be changed.
Can
I'm
it?
Kat.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Pippin.
And I'm Alex.
And we're
No
story
story
is
sacred.
sacred.